Hi guys, today is the 4th of February 2020 and it's 35 minutes past 12 in the morning over here in the UK. I'm going to try and do a running commentary. There's today, tomorrow, the 6th and the 7th left in this watch, and then that's it. So just making pretty much a video each day as the days go by. Yesterday for me, and today still now for some of you, the 3rd, I was looking out for, that volcanic eruption scenario around Etna, Kilauea, the volcanoes we've talked about. And just as I find in a lot of these cases, a volcano did erupt, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. One erupted in the Philippines. As I say, it's when those things happen, I think, maybe that could be the connection, because I was looking out for a volcano to erupt, but it's not specific enough. So it could just be a volcano erupting on any normal day. Anyway, let's get into the running commentary. So the video starts. Lights, emergency lights light up, torchlight highlights above the box. The goat is a young goat, which is a kid, so kid in a box, kid in a cage. Roundabout we've got 666 barcode, that's mark of the beast, upside down that's 999, emergency number. Add them together, you got 27, also a 27 reference here. I believe that references February the 7th, so blackout and things going really badly by that time. 10, 10 and 7 shown there with George Bush's hands. Again, another February 7th reference. Starlight up the east coast of the United States, suggesting a blackout in that area. A Fool Me Once reference, I think that connects to Donald Trump's impeachment, because the Bush character seems to represent Donald Trump at the same time. I'm going to have to stop it. In this scene, we can see that we've got the missile slash penis here. Now, we've looked at various different dates, but one of the dates that have always jumped out to me is the LT3, and most recently from that, when I realized that when I was interpreting this part here as an upside down letter T, in order for that to happen, the L that I was referencing would actually turn out to be a J, which would be January, or JT3, which I thought would be either January, then T for 20, and then the number 3, so January 23rd. Now the 5th of February is January the 23rd on the Julian calendar, so that's why I'll be looking out for missile launch, potentially some sort of cult rumors around that time, leading to the removal of Donald Trump. It's very apparent to me in this video that Donald Trump is removed if he's represented by the Bush character, whether that's by shooting or whether that's by this impeachment that's going on at the moment. But we see the Bush character slash Donald Trump changes into Obama, so that suggests that he's no longer in the picture, and that's when we start to see things really start to unfold. Obviously in the beginning of the video we seem to be referencing something that's happened after this event, which is the blackout, and people going down to the border and patrolling that themselves, taking it on, vigilantes, civilians forming militias and stuff like that. Obviously America has a huge amount of guns, so it could be very problematic in a situation where there's no central government control and it's all down to factions and stuff like that. It can get very gritty and very nasty very quickly, although a lot of people say that they're wanting to do good things, but selfishness, greed, gluttony, lust, all those things are still part of the human condition, even in bad times. Even in the shark here, the mouth making up the number 2, inside the shark's mouth you've either got a series of V's, which could be the Roman numeral for the number 5, so 25, that would be February the 5th, or little sideways 7s, which would again bring us to February the 7th. So those two dates kind of pop out to me quite a lot. Again, over here with the hangman, XX 10 10 20, V for 5, or sideways 7 for 7, so that would be, in my interpretation, February 5th or February 7th. Let's keep the running commentary going. So if Donald Trump is removed, then that kind of gives that suggestion that things would be happening after that event very quickly. He's pointing at the shark, which is the submarine, towards Florida, suggestion of some sort of underwater explosion and a tsunami, and then some sort of launch. If it's in association with the submarine, then that would be an SLBM launched from the water. And we're looking out for things like Russia, North Korea, for example. They've been working on a submarine We haven't heard a lot of news about that. They could have slipped into the ocean at any time. We just haven't been concentrating on a lot of those things because there's been a lot of other things going on: Brexit, coronavirus, impeachment, yada yada yada. It just keeps going on and on and on. In this scene again, we see the bunny's ears, or the rabbit's ears, or the hare's ears, or the coney's ears. All of those names mean the same, referencing the same animal. With the number 2 quite clearly, I think, next to number 7, February the 7th, another potential reference. Then staring at this character, which I've interpreted before as the 8th character or the 9th character if you include this girl, but then you've got the 2 and the 8 above, so that again suggests that things may continue after February the 7th. But again, if these things aren't happening coming up to that time, then I doubt that they will be happening on February the 8th and so on. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, hope and pray that none of these things actually do come to pass. With the apple dropping, there's a lot of references to that potential situation, but I see the apple is basically stopping at Obama's feet. It's kind of like the buck stops at, you know, his feet. So something I feel is wrong in association with the Obama administration. Maybe something comes out about something that we were told which isn't quite true. I've had thoughts on, you know, the Osama bin Laden death, and obviously we've got Osama bin Laden showing himself in this video later on, so maybe something connected to that wasn't quite true. However, that volcanic eruption, as I said, talked about that. It may have happened already, but as I haven't connected that Philippines volcano to this video, I'm reluctant to try and force it upon it. There is obviously the next possible interpretation for this situation, which is today, the 4th. That would be in conjunction, I just have to go back for a second to the classroom. That would be in conjunction with the earthquake, in my opinion, if the O is the 11th character on this alphabet, A, B, C, D missing, and Z is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. That would be 11 represented as 2 1s, which can just be 2, so that could be February, and then we've got 22, which can be added together to create 4, consistently adding both of the numbers from each of the letters together. So there's no, I'm just adding this one and not adding this one. So that would give us February the 4th. That's why I've got to watch today for a potential earthquake, just because these letters are tilted. That really is the only kind of reference to the earthquake that I can kind of pick up in terms of dates. There are other references to the earthquake later on in the video, but they could be different earthquakes and they don't seem to have dates connected to them necessarily. Although when we are with the blue character and he is doing his little dance and everything, and he jumps up with his wings, I might have passed it already. I don't think I have. There we are. So this scene just talking about the Russian bear. There we are. The wings jump up. On the wings, the number 23. Obviously February 3rd is gone, but there is another 23 coming up, which I already mentioned earlier, in association with January 23rd on the Julian calendar, which is going to be on February the 5th, which is obviously tomorrow for me, in 2 days for some of you guys who are still on February the 3rd. This frog mask here seems to talk of frogmen, which are basically aquatic army, like Navy basically, SEALs, those kind of things, coming up maybe on the coast of Florida. That seems to be one of the places that we've looked at, but also when he does jump up with the bird mask on and the wings, that reminds me of the rocket leaping up. In my earlier interpretations, that was the suggestion for North Korea launching their Jushi bird, which is the nuclear H-bomb that they've been wanting to test in the Pacific Ocean. Though I said 23 was on the wings, as I'm looking at it, I can see a more 25 to me. You can see that there, 2 that way and then 5 this way, similar to like what's on the George Bush eyebrow for the Donald Trump shooting or removal through impeachment. So perhaps that's all on the same day. Maybe connected. Obviously, if that is a Jushi bird connected to the star, we do have starlight in the beginning of the video when it's dark, referencing the blackout. So maybe the nuclear detonation is linked to a blackout of some kind. But what I was going to say, as I've pointed out in very early videos when I used to do this, is the shape of the bell. I hate that. Hold on a second. Defeat it. So the shape of the bell that goes around there, and obviously that just brings to mind places like London for the Big Ben. Obviously there's a Liberty Bell, so that brings us back to United States. Our two countries intertwined in this video, as well as other countries making cameo appearances throughout. And as I was saying, with the other 25 reference, that comes down to the China situation, which is either referencing February the 5th for 25, or it's referencing 25 on the Julian calendar, which is on February the 7th. So that's all I can really bring myself to kind of run and interpret at the same time, because as the video plays, especially when it plays in normal speed, a lot of things pop up, and we've done a lot of interpretations. Even when we come outside the classroom, I was watching the video as it got to about here, just before the flag, let the flag go by, and what I could see was the number 5. And again, that 2 and 3 reference is you know, a combination to reach the number 5. So that could be a suggestion. You can see that in the lightning bolt, the number 5. I mean, it could be the number 5 if you start from here, but you can also make up a series of 7s. So February 5th, February 7th, again, those two just keep repeating themselves to me over and over again. And as I say, February 7th is the last day, so if beyond that, if up to there and on that day nothing has occurred, then that's where I stop. But should, unfortunately, that would have made no sense, but should unfortunate circumstances take place beginning today, for example with an earthquake, potential tsunami event as well, potential volcanic eruptions, then of course it would beg for the watch to be continued, and I would do so. But I really hope I don't have to. You guys, one more thing just before I say my goodbyes. That 5 with that Donald Trump vote, I just have a feeling, I don't know, everyone's saying so certainly that the Senate is going to vote to acquit him, but I just have a feeling, I just have a feeling in my bones. And it's not just with the flag being ripped, you know, so that could be a symbolic interpretation for the removal of Donald Trump, you know, splitting the country like that. But there's also that house reference as well, with the house being on fire, with the potential for the number 2 on this side and 3 on this side again, that combination being the number 5. And the house, as I've interpreted before, having the word main written in it, with the M and the A and the I and the N and the backwards E. Maybe, now maybe, we will see 3 senators vote for impeachment, or sorry, vote for removal from the Republican side before it gets to Susan Collins, who then makes it the 4th person to vote for his removal, thereby ensuring his removal, setting the house on fire, taking Donald Trump out of the picture as seen on the eyebrow, and potentially sparking all of these events. It's a wacky theory, but something to watch out for, something definitive to watch out for. Quakes today, Donald Trump removal tomorrow, 3 senators, Susan Collins from Maine sealing the deal, setting the house on fire, removing Donald Trump, and then the last thing, actually, I keep saying the last thing, I couldn't find it earlier when I was talking at the same time, so I just left it. It was the other, excuse me, 25 reference. Why can't I think about where it is? There we go. So just coming into this scene here, that 5 right there, there's only one 5 within the watch, a 5 by itself, which is February the 5th. But if it is a 2-5, that would still potentially be February the 5th, but it could also include the last day in the watch, which is February the 7th. Tiananmen Square style entry into Hong Kong, protesters, mass casualties. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.